Every year, people go to sleep warm in a tent and never wake up, killed by an invisible, odorless gas from the heater they trusted. Carbon monoxide poisoning feels like the flu, including headache, dizziness, and nausea. So people fall asleep instead of escaping. We are ranking 5 heaters that turn a tent into a kill box, plus 2 that reduce the risk. Number 5 was built for a job site, not a sleeping bag. You go to sleep nice and warm, and you just don't wake up. That is the cold truth about carbon monoxide. It has no smell, no color, and because it feels like a mild flu, just some dizziness or nausea, you do not run. You just get heavy-eyed and drift off. The Consumer Product Safety Commission has documented 12 incidents and 18 deaths from portable propane heaters inside tents and campers. I am splitting these heaters into 2 camps today, 5 death traps and 2 safe picks. But write this down. Every fuel-burning heater needs a separate battery-powered carbon monoxide detector because a built-in sensor is not enough to save your life. The worst part? The heater you bought at the hardware store for your garage is usually the one that kills you in the woods. In 5th place, those massive propane and kerosene torpedo heaters belong on drafty construction sites, not inside your sleeping shelter. Sure, they are cheap and pack a massive punch, but they are built to run in wide-open, unsealed spaces. When the Consumer Product Safety Commission ran chamber tests on heaters not certified for indoor use, the results were terrifying. Some radiant units pumped out over 2,000 parts per million of carbon monoxide in just 30 minutes. That is a lethal dose, plain and simple. These heavy-duty blowers do not have oxygen depletion sensors, and they burn dirty. If the box says outdoor use only, bringing it inside a tent is a death wish. High output just gets you to danger faster. Number 4 on our list of death traps. Those cheap, unbranded propane heaters flooding Amazon for under $40. They look like normal camping gear, but they skip the single most important safety feature, an oxygen depletion sensor, or ODS. A real ODS cuts the gas when oxygen drops to around 16%. These cheap knockoffs skip that sensor entirely to save a few pennies, hiding the omission behind copied pictures. So if you fall asleep, the flame keeps burning as the air goes bad. And remember, even with a certified heater, a built-in sensor is never enough. You always need a separate carbon monoxide detector. If the listing does not explicitly name ODS, walk away. Number 3 on our list, cheap heaters built without a tip-over switch. Tents are cramped, sleeping bags shift, and campsite ground is rarely level. That's why a tip-over switch is non-negotiable. It's a dead simple mechanism that cuts the fuel the instant the unit tilts, but budget manufacturers skip it to save pennies. Look at what happened in Oregon when a dog knocked over an active propane heater inside a trailer. It sparked a fast-moving fire that gutted the entire rig. Without that automatic cutoff, a tipped heater will keep throwing open flames straight into your synthetic sleeping bag. Even certified units get blisteringly hot and need 3 feet of clearance. Remember, even if a heater has safety switches, you still need a separate battery-powered carbon monoxide detector because a built-in sensor isn't enough to save you. If a heater can't shut itself off when tipped, you're sleeping next to an active bomb. Number 2. Catalytic heaters without certification. These get marketed as flameless, which makes them incredibly deceptive. Yes, the catalytic reaction produces less carbon monoxide than an open flame. But remember, they still burn propane, and they still consume oxygen. A Consumer Product Safety Commission study found that several catalytic and radiant units created fatal carbon monoxide and oxygen-depleted environments in sealed spaces. Because they look harmless, people skip ventilation, and that false confidence is what kills. Look for the CSA 4.98 or ANSIZ 21.83 certification on the unit. If it is not there, do not use it. And I cannot stress this enough. Every fuel-burning heater needs a separate carbon monoxide detector, because a built-in sensor is never enough. And finally, in first place, the deadliest hazard on this list isn't a brand, it's a habit. Running any fuel-burning heater while you sleep is the ultimate mistake. Every safety agency, the Consumer Product Safety Commission, and I will tell you the same thing. Turn the gas off before your head hits the pillow. When you are unconscious, you can't smell propane, feel a spreading fire, or notice the early headache and nausea of carbon monoxide poisoning. You simply don't wake up. Some campers think a built-in oxygen depletion sensor makes overnight use safe, but that is a dangerous illusion. Carbon monoxide can build to lethal levels before oxygen drops low enough to trigger that safety switch. It's exactly what killed 3 Virginia Boy Scout leaders in 1983. Remember, every fuel-burning heater needs a separate battery-powered carbon monoxide detector because a built-in sensor is not enough. Warm your tent, shut the gas completely off, and trust your sleeping bag. Subscribe for more honest, life-saving winter camping advice. Another great option is skipping combustion altogether with an electric ceramic heater or a 12-volt heated blanket. If you have access to shore power at an RV park, or if you brought a serious portable power station, this is the ultimate cheat code, because zero combustion means zero carbon monoxide. While every fuel-burning heater on Earth requires you to run a separate battery-powered carbon monoxide detector because a built-in sensor is never enough, electric heat completely removes the poison from the equation. A small ceramic space heater with built-in tip-over protection and an overheat shutoff is easily the safest way to warm a tent. In real-world testing, one of these little electric units actually delivered more usable dry warmth than a much larger propane setup. The catch is the math. A standard ceramic heater will absolutely murder a 500 watt-hour power station in just a few hours. If you want to stretch your battery overnight, swap the space heater for a 12-volt heated blanket, tucked right inside your sleeping bag to warm your body directly. If you have the watts, skip the flame. Subscribe for more cold weather survival tips. And finally, our top safe pick, the Mr. Heater Portable Buddy. This is the off-grid gold standard because it actually includes the safety features you must demand, both an oxygen depletion sensor and an automatic tip-over shutoff. It is CPSC certified for indoor use, throwing 4,000 to 9,000 BTUs to warm up to 225 square feet. A single 1-pound propane bottle runs about 3 hours on high, or 6 hours on low. And you can easily connect it to a larger 20-pound tank with a hose. But I don't sugarcoat things, so here are the honest catches. It can stop working above 7,000 feet because the thin mountain air trips that sensitive oxygen sensor. Also, it's radiant heat, so it works best up close and won't heat your whole tent evenly. Most importantly, remember the non-negotiable rule. Even with a certified heater, you must pair it with a separate battery-powered carbon monoxide detector, because a built-in sensor is not enough to save you, and you should never leave it running while you sleep. Subscribe for more blunt, life-saving camping safety advice. And finally, here are the 4 strict safety checks to run before you buy or light anything. First, check for an oxygen depletion sensor. Second, verify an automatic tip-over switch is present. Third, look for an indoor use certification like CPSC 4.98 or ANSIZ 21.83. Fourth, you must run a separate battery-powered carbon monoxide detector every single time, because a built-in sensor is not enough. Above all, never sleep with a fuel-burning heater on, no matter how safe it claims to be. Which heater keeps you warm, or did this scare you straight? Tell me below. Next, we'll break down camp stoves, generators, and the toxic mistakes campers keep making. Subscribe if you'd rather learn this here than the hard way. These heaters prove one thing: Relying on built-in safety is a gamble. Every fuel-burning heater needs a separate carbon monoxide detector because a built-in sensor is just not enough. Don't freeze, but don't die. Subscribe for more blunt camping guides.